What up, everybody? We're going to get into this reaction video.
What if the
Sacred
most
what?
powerful portal to other realities wasn't somewhere far away, but hidden in your own body? Ancient traditions called it the throne of the soul, a sacred mechanism built into you. It doesn't run on logic or language. It runs on rhythm, on memory coded into your very flesh. And this code doesn't activate through thinking. It awakens through returning to something you once knew but forgot. You sit on it. You walk with it. But most people have no idea what it holds. This is the sacrum, Latin for sacred. We often talk about energy, frequency, and alignment. But
Energy is stored at the base. This is where the Kundalini energy rises from. And when you have the sacred secretion activation, the oil runs down the Ida and the Pingala, goes to the base of your spine, goes to the sacrum bone, the five fused vertebrae, and then works its way back up Jacob's ladder. This is spirituality. This is the physical process of awakening. Because people think the process of awakening spiritually is purely spiritual. Oh, that's funny. Did you really think that? Because it's actually physical. It's a real process that happens in our body that leads to the spiritual awakening. There's like these little halfway wannabe spiritual awakenings, and then there's a real one. We are talking about the real ones.
rarely do we talk about the structure that holds and supports much of this inner architecture. Tucked at the base of the spine, this triangular bone has been quietly guarding one of the most powerful energetic centers in the human body. In ancient traditions, the sacrum was never seen as just a bone. It was revered as sacred, hence its name. In Sanskrit-based systems, it sits at the foundation of the Kundalini, the coiled life force said to rise and awaken higher consciousness. In Taoist internal practices, it is the hinge that allows the microcosmic orbit to fully circulate.
Cool.
Even in modern mind-body teachings like Joe Dispenza's method, the sacrum is the base from which breath and intention meet to shift consciousness and enter expanded states. The sacrum is the gate. It's about structure, energy, and how the two meet. And when you learn to connect with it consciously, your entire system begins to recalibrate.
Whatever happened in 2023 during my spiritual awakening, the floodgates opened. And I guess those are like legit gates in your body that like block something off. And when they're moved to the side, then the waters from above can flow down. The cup runs over and it flows down and then it can flow back up. These are channels in our body, and there's ways to unblock these channels. Now, when these channels are unblocked and your pineal gland is decalcified, change can occur. But they know this, so they want our pineal glands blocked with fluoride in the water. Oh, it's great for your teeth. That's why if it has fluoride, it's even better. Bro, I'm going to smack you across the screen. Stop it. Go work for the ADA or something, dude. I'm not playing with you. Fluoride.
Gaza is at a tipping point.
That consciously, your entire system begins to recalibrate. The moment you understand that your body is not just matter, but a living temple, your entire relationship with it begins to change. And the deeper you listen to it, the more clearly you begin to sense the places where energy has been locked away, especially at the base, in the region of the sacrum. This region holds a strong connection to the body's emotional center, anchoring the pelvis where many early and unconscious emotional memories are stored, including feelings of shame, fear, vulnerability, and wounds tied to survival, safety, and identity. Traumas and unresolved emotions often settle in this area, creating tension and blocking the natural flow of energy. Through specific movements, especially gentle spirals, rocking, or pelvic wave motions, these stored patterns can begin to loosen. The emotional charge starts
That's why I was not focusing on doing this to my sacrum bone, but just from training mixed martial arts, MMA, like bop, 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 and training that in the gym with everybody for like 2 to 3 years in a row. I loosened those parts of my bodies up. Those channels that were once blocked became open. Then I became a viable source for which drastic change could occur. Okay.
Release. And with it, the energy that was trapped can rise upward through the spine. This is not just physical. It's a psychoenergetic release that reawakens the body's internal flow, opening the path for higher states of awareness.
Wow.
The sacrum sits at the junction between two worlds, where the dense physical energy of the root chakra meets the subtle current rising upward.
Wow.
It's the point where energy begins its transformation from material to spirit.
Woohoo! This guy's got away with words, bro. Yeah, the root chakra is where that sits at the base, okay? It's around your private parts, the front and the back. That's where your root chakra is. Then the sacral chakra is lower than your navel or belly button. Then the solar plexus chakra is where your abdomen is. Then your heart chakra, throat, third eye, and crown. There are 7. This is why 7 is a holy number. They will not tell you this, though. That in fact, many Christians and Catholics will demonize all of this because they'll say it stems from Hinduism, so it must be demonic. Bro, eat a bag of you know what. Bro, I'm not playing with you, son. There's beauty to be found in almost every religion, probably every religion, because it wouldn't work if not, you know? So you got to think outside the box. You can't be like, I'm a cookie cutter Catholic Christian and I will deny everything else that is not biblical and blah, blah, blah. You're limiting yourself. Stop it. Don't play yourself. What was that guy who said that? You're playing yourself.
This transformation
DJ Khaled, don't play yourself. Another one. Another one.
is the real process of ascension, moving from unconscious survival to conscious awareness. It's waking up from a long sleep, from passivity, confusion, and feeling stuck, to clarity, presence, and personal responsibility. Ancient systems didn't just revere the sacrum for its physical function. They considered it a seat of dormant power, something that could be activated, not through belief or force, but through movement, rhythm, and awareness.
Frequency.
The Greeks associated this bone.
Sounds similar to energy, frequency, and vibration. Sounds a little Nikolai Tesla for me. Yes. Let's go.
With the resurrection of the spirit. They believed that something essential, possibly indestructible, about the soul or energetic self, was anchored in this part of the body. From a physical standpoint, it is one of the strongest bones in the body. It supports the spine and upper body, distributes weight to the pelvis and legs, and endures constant pressure, especially in our sedentary lifestyles.
That's why at the very bottom, there's a sacrum bone. Then there's something called the coccyx. I think the coccyx is 5 fused vertebrae, or the sacrum bone is. It's one of the two. But that shows that, like, our 5 bones together like that, that shows that the human body we were fearfully and wonderfully made, as it says in the Bible. This is amazing stuff. The human technology, the most advanced technology, is the human vessel. So don't play with me. Quit playing with me, son. Yeah, this guy who does that, he's mad funny. He always goes, quit playing with me, son. He's just mad funny. But this is the thing, dude, is the human body is just so amazing. And what was the word I wanted to use for it? You have to understand the fine intricacies of the human vessel, of anatomy, the human anatomy. Incredibly made, not just made to, our mouth is so we can chew food and swallow it. And even that is amazing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the sacred secretion. I'm talking about Kundalini. I'm talking about these energetic systems within energetic systems within the body. It's like a game within a game within a game, or whatever. When you keep taking out those things and it's a smaller version and you go, come on, and then you open that and it's a smaller version. It's like that. Like there are subsystems within the system within the system. It goes very deep, y'all. The human body is intricately made, the most intelligently designed piece of machinery if you wanted to just lump it in with machinery. Compare it to everything humans have made. No, the human body is way more fascinating. And then you want to say people don't believe in a creator. Dude, everything around us is created. And if it's not created by man, it's created by God. How can you look at a car and go, okay, I know there's a maker? You know somebody made that car and it took hundreds of hours to build it and get it from nothing to something to finished product, right? But you look at the human vessel, which the human eyeball is far more expansive than a whole car. Just the eyeball, let alone two eyeballs in our whole body and the way we work. And you want to say, oh, nothing, we came out of nothing. Oh, we evolved from primates. Bro, what I say earlier. Bro, don't make me fucking smack you, dog.
It is the very first
Darwin was a joke.
bone to form in your mother's womb. From this foundation, your entire spine and the central axis of your body develops. And it's the last bone in the human body to disintegrate after death, which may have contributed to the idea that the sacrum holds a kind of lasting imprint of the self, possibly even the essence of the spirit or its memory. The sacrum also has 8 holes, a feature that carries symbolic meaning in many esoteric systems,
Such
often
as what?
connected to transformation, cycles, and rebirth.
I could understand that. They said 8 is like that. And 8 put on its side is actually the infinity symbol, because if you were to push like a ball or something off of the top left or the top right and have it go down, its own momentum would keep it going forever. And that's called infinity. So yes, that's why 8 or 888 3 8 is seen as a sign from the heavens that you are going to be abundant. It might not be finances, it might be something else, but you're about to be blessed abundantly, rather luxuriously, and have more than what you were asking for. Oh no!
Connected to transformation, cycles, and rebirth. So the question is, what exactly is being preserved or protected in this bone? Why did so many traditions connect it with spiritual awakening, ascension, or the soul's return? In yogic systems, this area is seen as the foundation of the life force, known as prana.
Okay, I mean, I can understand that, but another one is that we get downloads from the Most High through our crown chakra. So I think the crown is way cooler than the root chakra, in my opinion. I think you're vibrating higher if you learn to tap into these higher ones: heart, throat, third eye, crown. Those are the 4. Then the bottom 3 are just more physical, like sex, food, power, sex, drugs, rock and roll. You know, like these lower things that just, sure, they make us human, but like, I'm more about the spirit lately, okay? I like living in higher frequencies, not lower, base, dense frequencies. That's just me.
The spine becomes a channel, a living antenna, and the sacrum is the base switch that activates the flow. When it is activated, gently moved, breathed into, or consciously engaged, it begins to stimulate the flow of energy up the spine.
That's what it did.
It's also closely tied to the pelvic floor and the cerebrospinal fluid system.
You can shoot the, yeah. Bro, you can literally do something called a lock, L-O-C-K, like you're locking a door. And what you do is you squeeze really tight, like your abs, and not only that, you're pushing fluid, the cerebrospinal fluid, up against the pineal gland by like, it's almost like you have the ability to expand and contract your brain like it's a muscle, because it is in a way. You do that with up here. You also squeeze and engage your abdomen, your abs, and then you squeeze and lock and hold in tight, just like your abs and up here, your butt, like your butthole and your package, like the whole area down there. That's the root. So you're doing a root lock, you're doing a sacral solar lock. So all 3 lower ones are getting like tight and then loose, tight and loose. What that does is that shoots cerebrospinal fluid up through the Ida and Pingala nerve, I believe. It goes up to your brain, and when it hits and it pushes on those rhombohedron crystals around your pineal gland, it tickles them, and it makes it do its job, which your pineal gland's real job is to be like an antenna. You know how an antenna can pick up AM, FM frequencies, and you can tune into whatever frequency? That's what your pineal gland is. What frequency are you tuning into? The human body is just like mechanical systems that have been made by humans. It's funny because it's like when you paint a painting, and so somebody paints a painting, and at the end in the bottom right corner they put their signature, so it's like it was their work. Well, that's what we kind of do in a way without even doing it. We're naturally showing, oh, this came from humans. Okay, and then my belief is that humans initially created were magically and wonderfully and divinely and amazingly made, right? In the image of God, by God the Creator. It's just a beautiful thing.
Movements of the sacrum through breath, intention, or specific exercises can influence the flow of this fluid, which nourishes the brain and spinal cord. This may be one reason why many people report increased clarity, peace, and even visionary states
Yeah.
after working with the sacral area.
This is how people discover their talents, like the four clairs: clairaudient, clairsentient, clairvoyant, claircognizant. All those. Then there's other gifts that don't start with the word clear. But there's many gifts that are spiritual and real in principle, but they're usually brought on or awakened by an initial physical transformation. So the physical leads to a spiritual. Do you get it? You see how they're divinely intertwined and connected?
Modern research in somatic therapy and fascia science shows that the sacrum is a vital hub for deep nervous system regulation. When it moves and vibrates gently in spiral or circular motions, not through force, but through natural rhythm, it sends a strong, calming signal to your nervous system. This movement activates the sacral nerve plexus, a key part of the autonomic nervous system that helps balance relaxation and alertness. The gentle pulse is interpreted as an invitation to release chronic tension. When the body feels safe to relax, energy begins to flow naturally.
Nice.
In modern approaches like those of Joe
When the body feels safe and at home, that's when the energetic systems can get to really working. And I think that's it. It also has to do with priming one's nervous system. And what I mean by that is when I was training MMA for over 2 years consistently, my nervous system was at its peak because my body was pushed to its physical limitations every time I went into that gym. Even if I only trained for 1 hour or 2 or 3, it depended. Because sometimes I'd train kickboxing and then they'd be like, "You guys ready for wrestling?" And I'm like, "I'm gone. I'm out." That was me 80% of the time, 85. Then 15 to 20% of the time I would stay and do a little wrestling. But yeah, I'd put everything I have into those kickboxing lessons. And that pushed my body past its previously perceived limitations. Okay, so it's what I thought I couldn't go past here, and then a month later I'm already past it, and then 6 months later I'm way up here. So this is you pushing your body to new heights, and in doing that you prime your nervous system. Your endocrine system is thankful because you're producing natural testosterone like the man that you are. Or if you're a woman, you're helping to keep stuff in check as well because it aids you in your health. And when you do this, when your nervous system is primed and ready, and when you practice grounding, which is what we do because we train and fight barefoot, we don't walk in there with socks and shoes and stuff. Everything's taken off. You step barefoot on the mat. It's respect. Okay. And this is what we do. And grounding helps you as well because you're balancing positive and negatively charged ions from the body and taking it in from the earth. Now, that's if you're grounding on like grass or like the actual earth itself. But we didn't. We did it on mats. But even still, just doing that, allowing your body to be flow naturally. And think when we're born naked. Like we're not born with all these clothes. So that's not us. Us and our pure physical state are without clothes. You know what I mean? So when you stop wearing socks and shoes, you're allowing energy to escape through your feet and energy to come in through your feet, just like energy can come in and out of hands. These are things that people on surface level probably wouldn't even believe or be interested in learning about. But I've been diving down the spiritual rabbit holes for years now, and very interesting stuff.
Spenza. The sacrum is indirectly engaged through the breath to the brain
Gross.
method, contracting the lower muscles and pulling energy upward with focused breath and intention.
Okay.
This upward pressure activates the cerebrospinal system, stimulating the pineal gland and shifting brainwave states, often leading to mystical experiences. In this way, the sacrum acts as a sacred mechanism in
We also talk about altered brainwave states like alpha, theta, delta, in which you can achieve these states by listening to binaural beats. I will play one frequency in this ear, one frequency in that ear, and it will confuse your brain into thinking it's hearing a third, completely different frequency. So if you want plus 10 hertz, which is alpha or whatever, you would do something in here and something in here, which has a difference of 10 decibels. Not decibels, that's units of volume. That's not what I meant. Frequency, hertz. Okay. So the difference would be 10, and that would yield your brain thinking that it's hearing 10, and 10 is the alpha state. And what it does is if your brain's overactive on the left and underactive on the right, or vice versa, or whatever, you could learn and find the perfect prime resonant frequency for you. Everybody's got a different one. Some of us obviously would overlap because there can only be so many, but there's a prime resonant frequency that you would be very stimulated if you heard. And you've probably had it before, but you never wrote it down. You never figured it out. You never dove deep. So you don't know. But some of these people are so tapped in that they do know, and they play that prime resonant frequency daily. And this is how they learn to vibrate high and be happy and transmute all the pain in this world and just smile through it all. When everything's burning around them, they are in complete and utter peace. This is transmutation. This is the highest law of alchemy.
Inside you, an energetic portal encoded in your flesh and bone that bridges the physical body with higher states of consciousness. It's a key to unlocking vitality, presence, and inner transformation. Even in craniosacral therapy, subtle movements of the sacrum are used to release trauma and restore balance. When this area is restricted, the flow of vital energy is blocked.
Blocked.
And when it's freed, the entire system begins to reorganize.
Because when the channels are open, real magic can take place. This vital life force energy known as chi, ki, or prana within the human body is very real. Scientists have tried to measure it. It's been rather difficult because it's not something as easily observable and measurable as the blood in our body or our bones, because those are more physical in nature, like purely physical. This is when it becomes metaphysical, when it teeters on the line of physicality and spirituality. And then it's funny because it ties everything together: physicality, physical, metaphysical, astral, mental, as in your thoughts, your emotions, things like that. All these different things make up the human consciousness. Very impressive.
So while the sacrum may be physically at the bottom, spiritually, it's a starting point, a root. And it's from the root that true transformation begins.
Symbolic.
Hello. Do you want to play with me?
You want to play with me? Yeah. Simple exercises and movements to activate
Now
your
that we have
sacrum.
uncovered the sacrum
This is what I came for.
as a sacred portal, let's explore some simple practices to engage with it. These exercises are gentle and accessible. No special skills or equipment are
You can
needed,
try that with your legs,
only your
like I'm
presence and
doing.
intention. First, pelvic rocking. Stand with your feet hip-width apart and knees slightly bent. Let your arms rest naturally by your sides.
Yeah.
Begin to gently tilt your pelvis forward and then back in a slow, subtle rocking motion. Keep your upper body relaxed.
I'm already understanding that this is what helped me to tap into the sacred secretion and Kundalini activation, both of them. Because I stretch it out before and after training mixed martial arts on Tuesdays and Thursdays all the time, right? So my body got used to this, to stretching. And when you stretch, you open up these channels over time. It might not be immediate or instant. You might not even notice it, but the shift will happen.
Relaxed and still. Synchronize the movement with your breath. Inhale as you tilt the pelvis forward. Exhale as you tilt it back. There is no need to force anything. Keep it slow, soft, and fluid. Feel the wave-like motion travel up from the base of your spine.
Okay.
This simple motion activates the sacrum and helps release tension and stagnant energy stored in the pelvic area. Second, the sacral lift. Lie on your back with knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. hip width apart. Close your eyes and bring your attention inward, to the center of your pelvis. On an inhale, gently lift your pelvis upward, engaging your core and the muscles around your sacrum.
I
Hold for a
just tried
moment,
it.
then slowly lower it as you exhale. Repeat this 6 to 8 times.
The slowly lowering it was a little difficult for me because I'm holding my phone in one hand and I'm posting on another, like posting up like this with my hand on my bed. And I'm trying to push my hip up, and then go back down slowly and easily. It would be much easier if I wasn't doing all this right now, but yeah.
Staying present with the movement and focusing on the flow of energy moving from the base of your spine upward. This gentle motion.
I have another recommendation that this is how I used to do it. Is I would be standing completely vertical like that, a 10 hut or whatever. And then I would take one leg and bring it up. I would take my kneecap right here, this kneecap, and I would bring it to my chest like that as I'm still standing on the other leg. And make sure to keep your back as straight as you can. And you hold that, and it's going to burn a little bit. It's going to burn your upper leg, like your quad, and the back part of it as well. I think hamstring, right? So it's going to burn and hurt, but over time you're able to hold it for longer and tighter, like more tighter to your chest, like tighter to your chest. More tighter is not accurate, so sorry. Tighter, you're able to hold it tighter to your chest. But yeah, like that. And then you get a real good stretch. Then after a while, stretch that leg out, put it back down, wait 5 to 10 seconds, switch legs. Now I'm going this one, right? And this is what you do from well standing. Right now I'm laying down, so that's not what you want to do. You want to be standing for the one I'm recommending. And what that does is it stretches out where your butt muscle is and where it goes from your butt muscle into your leg in the back. And that's around the sacrum bone. It's around that area. It will also probably aid you in lower back pain. So make sure you're stretching regularly, daily. I recommend before and after training or working out, training mixed martial arts, or just working out at a regular gym. Just get in the habit of that. So stretching becomes regular because you're going to be way more sore if you don't stretch, and you're not going to get as good of a workout. And mixed martial arts wise, I couldn't get those high kicks out if I didn't stretch nicely. I couldn't believe how much I could throw accurate high kicks with power as a heavyweight who's 6'4". It just usually doesn't happen. If you're not Mirko Cro Cop and you're not Gabriel Gonzaga back in the day, then you're not throwing high kicks to the head really. And it was impressive that I could do it at 30 to 32 years old. I'm 35 now. Yikes. I know, right? But that's crazy. I haven't trained in 15 months and I can't throw high kicks anymore. Wow, what a shocker, right? It's like when you don't practice basketball for a while, you lose your shot and you have to get it back. Well, I have to get my ability to throw strong, accurate high kicks back. I can't wait to start training again this summer.
Activates the sacral spinal connection, awakening circulation, energy flow, and awareness in the lower body. Third, spiral the energy, the infinity hip flow.
What?
Stand upright with your feet hip width apart and your knees softly bent. Begin to move your hips in the shape of a horizontal figure 8, like the infinity symbol turned on its side. There is no need to force or analyze. Let the motion be fluid and intuitive. Allow your pelvis to guide the rhythm, not the mind, but the body itself. With each slow breath,
That's
feel
crazy.
the movement loosening deep-held tension in the lower body, especially around the sacrum and psoas. This spiral motion gently unblocks what has been stored, stuck, or forgotten.
I need to do this
for all
more
my
often.
bed-rotting girlies. If you're depressed and your house is always a mess, the support you need should...
Stuck
Yeah.
or forgotten. Fourth, mindful breathing with perineum engagement. Sit or lie down comfortably. Place your hands at the base of your abdomen,
Oh, this
just
is how I
above
usually
the pubic
sit.
bone. As you inhale, gently expand the lower belly outward. As you exhale, let it return to center, soft, without forcing. Now add a subtle pulse. On the exhale, gently contract the muscles around the perineum, the area between the genitals and anus, as if giving a soft upward push.
That's what that is.
Imagine drawing energy up from the sacrum, This micro movement, synchronized with the breath, creates a wave that travels upward from the sacrum through the spine.
I felt it
It
a
helps
little.
activate subtle energy circuits connected to awareness, perception.
It's funny because I said I felt it a little, and then immediately after he said subtle, and I said a little. So this is accurate.
And your personal energy field. It's like opening a hidden channel, allowing energy
Yeah.
to move freely where before it was stagnant. Over time, this practice shifts your experience of the body from solid form to vibrating field. And within that field, things begin to reorganize. These movements, combined with conscious breathing, activate the energy circulation that flows from the sacrum, up the spine, over the crown of the head, and down the front of the body.
Yeah.
This circulation harmonizes your internal energy, promoting clarity, calm, and expanded awareness. As you practice regularly, you may begin to notice subtle shifts, greater presence, deeper intuition, and a sense
Intuition.
of alignment with a force greater than.
I'm telling you, when you get deeper into stuff like this and you're able to tap into something called the sacred secretion, you become a human lie detector on a next level. If you thought you were already intuitive or you had discernment from the Most High, forget about it. Whatever you thought you had is nothing compared to what you will be tapped into. It is incredibly highly transformative. It's like a superpower, yes. So empathy on base level, baseline, it's not a superpower. It's just a survival mechanism. But when you learn to utilize it properly and stand up for yourself and not get walked all over by narcissists or the dark triad people, plus sociopaths, so four, you learn to protect yourself and your energy from those people and take a stand for yourself. Then you evolve from a normal empath to either a Sigma empath, which is what I am, a Heyoka empath, which is the most powerful, or a dark empath, in which you learn to gravitate towards those Machiavelli and I don't know, Machiavellians. There you go. But like all the in the dark triad psychology, this is all very interesting stuff. But when you learn to finally say enough is enough, you evolve. And just like that, when you get deeper into spirituality and these practices and breathing and being conscious of your breath, you are going to be given gifts. And many times, one of the gifts is intuition, next level discernment. Like when you talk to somebody, hey, how's your day going? They go, oh, not too bad. How about yours? And say they're used to always giving you that same answer. Not too bad. How about yours? In the same inflection and tone. Maybe every day when you heard that from them, you took it as fact. Like, okay, they're doing not too bad. This time when they say not too bad, how about you? You already know. Maybe it's coming from a breakup. Maybe it's coming from severe levels of depression. But you know they're lying to you and that they're not having a doing all right. That they're not. You just and now you're like, whoa, like what is this newfound power of mine? It is, and it's given to you because you were deemed worthy. You were not deemed somebody who would be given the gift and then use it for evil or for bad. And this is one of the basic rules of understanding when it comes to Rosicrucianism, is that when you understand these energetic practices and the psychological processes within the human condition, you promise not to use them for bad, to only use them to aid people on their journey. Because if you get this spiritually adept and everybody around you is not, you can manipulate them all over the place. They'll be your little puppets. But that's not the point. They're saying, we'll give you this tool. We'll even show you how to use this tool effectively. Just promise me you're not going to use it for the wrong thing. That's what it is.
Yourself. The sacrum, once forgotten, becomes a bridge to your inner world and beyond. Remember, the key is gentleness and consistency. Honor your body's rhythm. The portal inside you opens most fully when you move without force, with respect, and with attention.
He's not wrong when that gentleman said that, because everything was going smoothly in my life when I had the sacred secretion activation. What stunk is like 2 months into my activation and awakening, things started going bad and I started noticing stuff. But prior to and leading up to the point, things went smooth. That's why it was able to happen. This fluid that is made in your brain and goes down and up. and gives you super consciousness, it cannot thrive, and especially the seed that is brought back up, the seed born in Bethlehem, it cannot thrive under stress, under negativity, under anger. All that, you need to transmute all of that shit before you tap into your real source consciousness. It just can't happen. It can't survive. Why do you think these people try so hard to put fluoride in water and toothpaste and say it's good for you? They want to block your pineal gland, because if everybody was awake, we wouldn't just be willing to all be slaves of these people. We wouldn't. We wouldn't be willing to bust our butt all the time for peanuts. You know what I mean? We'd be like, no, we deserve more because we're worth more, and we would know our worth. And then we're like, no, we got to keep them low vibration. We got to keep them stuck in physicality. It's all perceived. Like, this is why they do stuff in rituals. This is why they use energy harvesting rituals and masquerade it as a concert and things like that. When you really go down some of these rabbit holes, some of it has a lot of truth to it. Some of it's a little woo woo and out there, and I can dismiss it and just laugh at it. But some of it I've actually gravitated towards. I've been like, wow, I can't believe I never noticed that. So just be open minded enough to receiving information in the first place, you know? But not so open minded that you believe everything you hear automatically without double checking. Don't get played. Don't play yourself.
Across cultures and systems, the sacrum has always held a place of deep reverence, though few speak of it directly. The methods vary, but the goal is the same: to awaken the energy at the base of the spine and allow it to rise. Activating the sacrum is more than just a physical or energetic practice. It is a doorway to transformation on many levels. In ancient traditions,
Look at that in the background. That's the Kundalini serpent rising. But also, one could draw it a little differently, and it could all of a sudden mean the sacred secretion activation, because it's the Ida and the Pingala nerves. Where you see the blue serpent, that could be considered the Ida or the Pingala. And then the other one that's not colored blue, light blue, it's actually black, but it's just outlined by the pink. That other one would be the remainder. So one's the Ida, one's the Pingala. Those two nerve endings they're not even just nerve endings. They seem like channels that carry energy and carry our cerebrospinal fluid more accurately up and down the spine. Why? Because it bathes it in the cerebrospinal fluid to protect it. And also, it looks like it's to carry that seed from Bethlehem up to the heaved up place, up to the light of the world, the optic thalamus, past the crux, CRUX, which in another language means cross. But it's the crux. It's this bone near the back of your neck. There's all these allegories that could be found from the Bible into spiritual, ancient, esoteric, Gnostic circles. So this is where the lines get a little blurry, but if you can decipher what's truthful and what might be mumbo jumbo, you can get to the bottom of it.
the sacrum was called the throne of the soul because it holds the root of our life force and our connection to the unseen realms. When this energy center awakens, it can lift us beyond ordinary perception and into deeper states of presence and insight. Breath is the primary key to unlocking this inner gateway. Deep conscious breathing awakens the subtle energy stored around the sacrum.
That's why a lot of people say get into meditation, and breath work. Because one without the other is just silly. You might as well put them together. Everything is going to become a lot more abundantly clear to you in time.
By coordinating breath with movement, you begin to activate a rhythm encoded deep within your flesh. Kundalini Yoga uses breath and physical locks, bandhas, to awaken Kundalini energy coiled.
Wow. I never knew they were called bandhas. I just knew locks. I just didn't know that was the name for it. Jalandhara Bandha. A chin lock. Really? I never heard of that. Now, I've heard of the lock where your butt is, like your butthole lock, seriously, like where you squeeze it and tense it up. Then I've heard of the one where your solar plexus is. I see that one right there. So I see both of them, but I didn't know this one in the throat, a throat lock or a chin lock or whatever. This is crazy. I'm about to learn something
Base
new.
of the spine. The breath directs energy upward through the chakras, transforming not only the body but consciousness itself.
Whew. Bro, why do you keep showing me this stuff? It's always
Joseph is
children
at
with
the
cancer.
Consciousness
It's always
itself.
children with cancer. They're literally showing me children with cancer and people dying. Why do they do this? Do they think that I just have a bunch of money I can give, or do they want to just give me PTSD over time? What is up with that? Please show me, if you're going to show me an ad, please show me something positive. Please, please, please. Oh,
In the old traditions of Africa, the wise elders, walkers between worlds, danced in spirals that stirred the base of the spine. They didn't dance for show or for expression. They danced to open inner portals. Through the rhythm and vibration, energy would rise like an ancient flame, awakening dormant layers of perception. In Mesoamerica, the path of the Nawal taught that certain movements, repeated with devotion, could reactivate a forgotten code within the body. They understood that everything begins at the base, at the point they called the throne of the spirit.
wow.
Your body is not just flesh and bone.
So they called the root chakra the throne of the spirit. But in other traditions, other people called the pineal gland, or another area in the brain, the seat of the soul. So where is it? Is our soul at the base or the heavens?
It is a vessel.
I think they're both incorrect. I think it's where our heart center is. I think our soul is right around here somewhere. I don't think our soul's thinking in here or thinking with our other head. If you're a guy, I think our heart center is illuminated.
A living interface between dimensions, a portal through which consciousness experiences reality. What you call you is not limited to this form. You are an electromagnetic being. But when consciousness is locked into matter, when attention is fixed only on the physical realm, it becomes confined within the body.
Dude, like you said, we are electromagnetic beings. The electricity is the masculine premise or principle within our body findings. Electricity, masculine. Magnetism or magnetic, feminine. So, and think about it just in general, not even the actual energy centers and stuff or like what it does. Just think about it in general. Men always work, work, work. We're horses, right? I'm a horse, the year of the horse, right? But we're workhorses. We just grind it out. That's electricity. Electricity gets stuff done. It's always moving. That's the electrical properties of us, right? But women attract stuff effortlessly in their life because of their beauty, maybe their personality, maybe the mix of both, and they tend to just draw stuff into them. If they want an abundant life, they'll attract it rather effortlessly as opposed to a man. A man usually has to grind it out for years of arduous pain to get to where he wants to be. Whereas a woman, if you're smart, intelligent, and beautiful, bro, the world is your oyster. Then it's not to shun one side or the other. It's just to show you the power from male or female. And both of us, male and female, we both have properties of both. So don't think that it's restricted or limited or anything like that. It's just that our go-to for a man is the electricity within us. A go-to for woman is usually the magnetism within them. So learn to embrace whatever your strong suit is. And then also work at taking the part that's not your strong suit and making it better. That way you can become a more balanced, wholesome individual.
Which represents the earth. The root chakra, the lowest energy center, symbolizes this connection to dense matter, survival, and gravity. But you are not meant to remain at the base. Many get stuck here, anchored by emotional blockages, unresolved fears, and
Huh.
attachments to the material world.
And I wonder who purports a lot of that to us in the first place and why they would do that.
These subtle patterns weigh down the energy, making it harder to rise, to reach
That's it.
upward, toward heaven, toward
They don't want us
expansion.
awake.
That's
Some of these secret societies are so mad when we awake. When they know that a chosen one is about to have an awakening, they will do everything in their power to prevent you from having that awakening. They will start gang stalking you. They will lie and start telling people lies about you. They will try to ruin your energy and your inner divine light because what you already are is too much for them. But when you have a real spiritual awakening, they're done. Everything they know that that runs the risk of them getting exposed, because when you're standing in the truth, No lie will overpower you. Everybody will know and resonate with you. This kid's telling the truth. He has no reason to lie. He's talking calmly. He's talking intently and with purpose. These other people are running around like chickens with their head cut off trying to sabotage him. They will see it. So these people are secretly threatened by you and the power that you hold.
Why this part
We wrestle not against
of
flesh
the
and blood,
body,
but principalities, against spiritual wickedness in high places, people who have high positions of power. They've always been in power. They just want us to think that they've been duly elected or this and that. These secret psychos, maybe they're fallen angels, maybe they're clones, maybe they're just evil people, like fallen descendants of Cain. Who knows?
this foundation is so important. And that's why the sacrum plays such a crucial role. It holds ancient memory, both personal and collective. It is the gatekeeper of transformation. When this center is activated and cleared, the energy begins to rise, not through effort, but through release.
Kundalini
There is
rising.
symbolism in every part of the body. It is more than structure. It is signal, frequency, memory. To live only in the material is to forget the rest of the spectrum. Your
Metaphysical.
task is not to escape the body, but to activate it, to awaken the codes within, and to remember that this form is not your prison. It is your instrument. Engaging the sacrum with awareness, through movement, breath, and activation, helps you connect more deeply with yourself and the present moment. Over time, this quiet practice brings you back to your center. You stop running from yourself and begin truly
Amen.
finding yourself.
The real
Through
you.
daily practice, feeling, breathing, falling, returning and being present.
Yeah. There's a divine source of power within you embracing the genuine state of being, who you really are and have always been and always will be. Embracing that. Stop putting the mask on so that you can fit into society. Take the mask off and, in fact, call other people out for having masks on. Make it cool again to be yourself. Others will follow suit. You're a leader.
You realize you're no longer searching for portals, because you have become one. I hope this information helps you, and always remember, you hold immense power within, far beyond the physical world. You are here to awaken to it.
And others.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you. That was a great video. I hope you learned something. I know that its main primary focus was on the sacrum bone and movements that can aid you in allowing these energetic channels to open more, but also just spirituality in general. I like to cover a lot of stuff like that. If you have any different ideas that you'd like to see me cover, let me know down in the comment section and we'll get on it, because this isn't just for me. I want it to be for others as well. I do like to do this with or without subscribers because it makes me feel good. I'll be able to look at myself in the future and be like, oh, look, when I was younger and I didn't look 108, So that's a pretty cool thing too. I hope you learned something, or at least enjoyed and was able to relax for a little bit and forget about all the crazy things going on in this world. Until next time, stay safe, be blessed, and live lavishly. I'm going to see all of you in the next reaction video. Until then, it's your boy Sigma the Stigma, and just know that I love you all. Peace, and God bless.